Good evening once again. Welcome to the live session corresponding to the week 12 of Characterization of Construction Materials. Let me share the screen. Yeah. Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. So, today this is going to be a very short session. So let's move to the first question for today. So in the last week, that is in the week 12, majorly we discussed about electrical impedance, that is to know about the resistivity of our construction materials. By knowing the resistivity, what we can know is about the durability of the material, mostly about the durability, because resistivity is directly linked with the pore structure, the connectivity of the pores. And if the connectivity of the pores is really good in a material system, then external ions and external materials like sulfates, carbon dioxide, etc., can get into the material very fast, and this can affect the durability and curtail the lifespan of the structure. So let's move to the first question. The ionic species present within the pore solution of a mature concrete to balance the charges sodium plus and potassium plus is dash. So, after quite a long time in a concrete material, in the pore solution, only a few number of ions will be present in the pore solution. So, two of them are sodium plus and potassium plus, Na plus and K plus. So when the positive charges are present like this, what is present in the mature concrete to balance them? Option A, sulfate, SO4 2 minus. Then option B, chlorides. Option C, nitrates, NO3 minus. And option D, OH minus. Okay, Javed has opted for D. Thank you, Javed, for responding. What about others? Okay, Afia has opted for A. So let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option D, OH minus. So pore solution becomes conductive because of these ions. So by knowing how much conductivity is present, we can correlate it with the pore structure, and we can correlate it with the durability. So in the case sodium positive, sorry, in the case of in the case of sodium positive and K positive, the charges present are positive charges. So in order to have a balance or equilibrium, the ion which is present is OH minus, and it is not sulfate 2 minus. So let's move to the next one. The AC frequency in India. It's a very general question. It's a memory based question. So you cannot expect such questions in the exam. That also I would like to put it out here. Most probably the questions will not be memory based questions. Okay, Javed has opted for B. What about others? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. Okay, let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option B. So AC is the frequency at which AC is supplied is at 50 hertz in India. So, as I told, this is just a memory based question. Okay. Direct current is when charges flow back and forth from a source. State true or false. This is a basic physics question, I guess, from our higher secondary. So, what is AC and what is DC? So, this question is based on that concept. So, what is the direct current? It is the current which, when the charges flow back and forth from a source. State true or false. Anyone? Please respond in the chat box. Okay, let's move to the answer. The correct answer is false. Why? Because it is the question or the statement of the question is the explanation for alternating current or AC. Alternating current is when the charges flow back and forth from a source. It's not the direct current. Direct current does not occur like that. So the correct answer is option B. Okay. Impedance is always in phase with the current. Impedance is always in phase with the current. State true or false. Anyone? What about Javed, Mehna, and all? Unless you respond in the chat box, I'll never know whether you're listening or I'm just speaking for myself. Afia, Javed, Mehna, please try to respond. Okay. So Javed has responded true. I insist, please respond in the chat box. Even if you feel doubtful about the answer, it's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is false. So here it's the equation for or the expression for impedance Z. So it is like an effective resistance. Its impedance is like an effective resistance when our circuit has not just resistance but also reactance. So in that case, Z or impedance has a sine omega t plus phi component. This phi component indicates the phase shift or the phase change as shown here. Okay, so impedance is not always in phase with the current, so which makes the answer false. Option B. Let's move to the next one. Determine the angular velocity when the frequency is 2 hertz. If the frequency is 2 hertz, what is the angular velocity? Please respond in the chat box. Your frequency is given as 2 hertz. What is the angular velocity? Okay, there are three responses. All goes for D. Okay, so the correct answer is C. That is omega is equal to 2 pi f. That is 2 into 3.14 into 2 hertz. That is 12.56 hertz. So the question is in radians per second. So this is something which you should really focus on when you write the exam. So please focus on the unit. So it's not hertz. So to convert it into radians per second, hertz to radians per second conversion is multiplication with 6.28. So that gives you 78.9 radians per second. I hope that's clear. Anyway, we'll upload this in the YouTube, and also we'll share the presentation. So please make sure that you go through all the problems and you go through the focus points, that is units and equations, etc. Let's move to the next one. The resistivity of soil increases with the increase in compaction of soil. State true or false. Sorry, there'll be a few pictures popping up here. Sorry for that. The resistivity of soil increases with increase in compaction of the soil. True or false? Okay, Afia has commented that statement is correct. What about others? Okay, Rituja also. Okay, let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is A. Why? Because when we increase the compaction of the soil, or when we keep on compacting the soil, the connectivity of the pores, or the pore connectivity, decreases, as a result of which the pore solution, or whatever solution it is, or whatever foreign ions it be, they cannot move freely through the pores. So as a result of this, the resistivity of the soil by default increases. So the correct answer is true. Okay. So replacing OPC with class C fly ash shows a reduced resistivity compared to the class F fly ash at the same replacement percentage and age, because dash. So when you replace OPC with class C fly ash and replace OPC with class F fly ash, same replacement level and same age, the one which is having a class F fly ash has a higher resistivity. What is the reason? Class C fly ash has more calcium content, which releases more ions into the pore solution. Or class F fly ash has more silica content, which releases more ions into the pore solution. Or class C fly ash has more silica content, which binds more alkali content from the pore solution. Or class F fly ash has more silica content, which binds more alkali ions from the pore solution. Please read the questions carefully. Okay, Afia has commented D. Okay, let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option D. Because see, class C fly ash, it has a calcium content, higher calcium content. That statement is correct. But as a result of which, the silica content is lesser in class C fly ash compared to class F fly ash. In the case of class F fly ash, there's more of a silica content. So as a result, this silica binds the alkalis. As a result, these alkalis will not be, or this sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, these ions, sodium ion, potassium ion, these ions will not be present in the pore solution. Without ions, there is no conductivity. As a result, the resistivity will be much higher for class F fly ash than class C fly ash. Moving to the next question. Let's see. The non-evaporable water content dash with the increase in degree of hydration. The non-evaporable water content increases or decreases or does not change with the increase in degree of hydration. Okay. Afia has commented B, that is decreases. Okay. The correct answer is option A, increases. I'll tell you the reason. This non evaporable water content is the bound water which is present within the gel pores, that is present within the CSH or the hydration products. As the degree of hydration increases, the hydration products, the amount of hydration products also increases. Because of that reason, the non-evaporable water content also increases with increase in degree of hydration. You can only quantify them when you heat the material above 105 degrees Celsius and below 1000 degrees Celsius. So this water content which is present within the hydration product increases. Why? Because hydration product forms more and more as the degree of hydration increases, right? So the non-evaporable water content also increases with the increase in degree of hydration. Moving to the next question. In an electrochemical process, the layer of ions which is adherent to the solid surface is known as diffuse layer. It's a true or false question. So there's an electrochemical process, and there's a double layer. So the layer which is adherent to the solid surface is known as diffuse layer. Say true or false. Okay. So the correct answer is option B, false. Why? Because the diffuse layer is the second layer which is farther from the solid surface. Stern layer is the layer which is adherent to the solid surface. So if there is a solid, the layer which is adherent to that surface or the solid surface is stern layer. After stern layer, there is a diffuse layer. So in between the diffuse layer and the solid surface lies the stern layer. So the correct answer is option B, false. Moving to the next question. The measurement in which a definite potential is applied to measure the current is known as X, and a definite current is applied to measure the potential is known as Y. What is X and Y? Potentiostatic and galvanostatic, galvanostatic and potentiostatic, potentiostatic and electrostatic, electrostatic and galvanostatic. So I hope the question is clear. there is a way to give a definite potential to measure the current, and there is a way to give definite current and then apply the potential. So what is what? X is potentiostatic and Y is galvanostatic, or X is galvanostatic and Y is potentiostatic. X is potentiostatic and Y is electrostatic, or X is electrostatic and Y is galvanostatic. Okay, so let's move to the correct answer. The correct answer is option A, potentiostatic and galvanostatic. So if you apply a definite potential and then measure the current, it's known as a potentiostatic. Static means it is stationary or it is not moving. It is definite. So giving a definite potential is potentiostatic, and measuring the current. Then if you give a definite current and then measure the potential, it's known as galvanostatic. Let's move to the next question. Bode plot gives information about the frequency, whereas Nyquist plot does not convey about the frequency. State true or false. Bode plot gives information about the frequency, whereas Nyquist plot does not convey the frequency. Okay, so let's move to the correct answer. This is related to the measurement of resistivity, electrical measurement of resistivity. The correct answer is option A. So here if you see, the frequency is given in the Bode plot, whereas this is an Nyquist plot. It does not say anything about the frequency. So here the frequency is measured against the phase angle and also the impedance, whereas here only the impedance is present. There is no information about the frequency in the case of Nyquist plot. So the correct answer is option A, true. Now, choose a condition in the ZView software using which we can understand how fitting is the equivalent circuit of a system. So, while using the ZView software, we have to arrange certain parameters in such a way that we get a proper circuit of the system. I'm moving to the answer because it's directly from the software. So, yeah, the correct answer is A. That is, individual component errors should be less than 20. The chi-squared value is less than 0.001, and sum of squares value should be less than 0.001. If you go through the video once again, they are clearly explaining it through the software in different screens or different windows. They are giving values such that this condition is met. That is, individual component errors less than 20, chi-squared less than 0.001, and sum of squares less than 0.001. So yeah, that was the last question. So with this, the questions for week 12 is over. Let me try to save